RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, cruiserweight, heavyweight. Yeah, I mean, obviously, when we talk about when Bridgerweight got announced, we were like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here!" Like, because it didn't make really a lot of sense to us, you know, that type of because the number one is just taking part of cruiserweight and then part of heavyweight. Like, it's just like, especially from someone who actually has solid heavyweight wins already.
I swear, that's the whole thing we was talking about. He was like, didn't Pat go to a Rivas fight? I'm like, yeah, he did. Remember the 2019, right?
Yeah, 2019. Yeah, I went.
Yeah, like
in BY. You know, I saw him in BY, because I heard so much about Rivas over the years. I'm just like, you know what? And then the fact he was actually fighting in America, which was a rarity. I was like, shit. Let me drive 4 hours to this fucking casino and watch. And it was a good fucking fight. Yeah, I got to see. I was fuck bro. I got to hear the nigga punches hard as fuck. He really punches hard. You know, it's like, okay, this dude might be a problem. And, you know, his only loss today is to Dillian White under dubious circumstances. You know,
that kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth. Like,
I'm saying, like,
there was like no resolve. Like,
right. You know, and then after that, he's been kind of quiet because, you know, COVID kind of limited a lot of activities. And then he had a fight earlier this year at, you know, 221. So this was probably his biggest, most high-profile fight against. You know, it was supposed to be against BY again, but, you know, Canada. You know, and I still
don't play with that COVID shit.
Yeah, like if you're not vaccinated, you got to quarantine for like 14 days somewhere. You know,
and the way they did the process, I think it was Brian Jennings or something. I heard a tweet or read something, and they real strict with certain things. You can't go to the gym during quarantine. You can't work out. You can't. So you put yourself at so many disadvantages. And where do you want to be?
Yeah, some of these countries are going to have to deal with that. Like, I heard it's the same thing with Japan. So if Golovkin goes to Japan at the end of the year to fight Murata, he's got to quarantine for 14 days, which is a severe disadvantage.
But it's because they're not vaccinated. I think Triple G might be vaccinated, but BY...
No, Japan, it doesn't matter. If you're vaccinated, unvaccinated, you're coming in, you got to quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah,
and I don't think there's nothing wrong with the quarantine if you still could work out. But if you don't have no access to no gym or anything, that's when it really fucks you.
Right, and in Canada, I think if you're vaccinated, you don't have to quarantine like that. But I think it's just if you're not vaccinated, you have to go through some extra shit. And nigga, I'm vaccinated. I've been trying to go to Canada, but the shit that Canada wants you to do is just like, nah, I'm gonna wait till that shit opens up a little bit more. So I feel what BY is saying too. Like, I
don't fault him for, you know, because that's his choice. Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was like, he didn't want to put himself at a disadvantage. So his replacement was someone that none of us had actually seen before, or heard of before, with Ryan Rozicki.
You know, I looked at BoxRec, like, dude's actual last opponent was the same last opponent Rivas had. So they both beat up the same guy before this fight.
And then Rozicki is a career cruiserweight. You know, it's like, I mean, but he had 100% knockout. He was 13-0 with 13 knockouts, and he was from Nova Scotia, Canada, so he was good. You know,
that's how we got this fight. We had a heavyweight fight a cruiserweight, and so we just called it a new division.
Yeah, nigga, it sounds crazy to discuss this shit, nigga. It's wild. Yeah, and that's why the WBA and the IBF and WBA was like, Bridger, what, nigga? If you don't,
the fuck out of here.
If you don't sit your ass down with this bullshit.
That was one of those boys in the hood, Ice Cube 40-ounce moments. Like, you don't take your ass back to the stove with that shit.
I was like, it's like, you better pick a division. You better pick either cruiserweight or heavyweight. In this case, it doesn't make. And the funny thing is too is, Rivas still has fought heavier. Like he's fought in like the 230s, 240s. Like dude is usually more brolic, you know. Yeah. So the fact that he actually had to cut weight and, you know, cut weight for this, and he definitely looked a lot smaller. Like he looked a lot smaller than when I last seen him. And then Rozicki
before he was like the size of Seth Mitchell or somebody.
Yeah, and then Rozicki was telling me like he had to eat so much he's tired of eating. So
Big Baby probably wanted that fight then.
Yeah, and even with all that going on there, like most people were like, Bridgerweight, whatever. And then most people, because Rozicki was a huge underdog. We didn't put no respect on his name like that because we were like, Rivas is gonna do his thing. He's gonna knock dude out, and he's gonna be called a world champion, and that's gonna be that. It didn't play out that way, not at all. It almost did in the first round though. Rivas almost got him out of there in the first round, but it seemed like Rivas having to cut weight. Imagine having to cut weight at heavyweight for something like this. Kind of drained him. Like dude was breathing heavy from round 2 on. And then Rozicki, we actually got to see Rozicki go to work. And Rozicki was giving it to Rivas for a couple of rounds, like maybe 3 rounds straight.
Yeah, he was putting hands on dude.
Yeah, and I'm over here, I'm sitting straight up just watching this shit. I was like, what am I watching? I was like, Rivas is supposed to, and I've watched Rivas, Rivas, BY wasn't even like putting hands on Rivas like this.
Dylan White was putting hands on dude like that.
Yeah, like Rozicki was giving him the business. I'm like, okay, I'm about to see an upset going on. Like
it was left hooks, right hands, uppercuts, like
body shots, like
and then threw the whole fight night arsenal at dude.
Yeah, Rivas, and then Rivas too is like usually has a stone face, but dude looked like he was like he's like, oh, I'm in trouble. Like I need to do something. And then I think probably the best thing happened to Rivas is I think that Rozicki got, he started getting a little tired. I think probably halfway through, maybe like round 6 or whatever. And then Rivas was kind of able to get back in the fight. But at that time,
he started coming back, but Rozicki was still damn up there with him.
Hell yeah! I
don't think Rivas came all the way back until like maybe the 10th round.
Yeah, and that was because Rivas had to actually box. Like Rivas actually had to get on his bike and actually box. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's like Rivas usually stays, and it's like these two were phone booth. Like these two were throwing hell shots at each other. Like they were ripping each other with ridiculous shots. But Rivas couldn't take that too much because Rivas started holding on and leaning weight on him, and because Rozicki was pushing him back, and then Rivas was pushing Rozicki back. Like it was like Rivas was like, damn, I have to really try to box dude, which is probably his best strategy. Like that was probably the thing that actually got him, that was able to make this fight, either to cinch the fight for him. Like he was actually having to get on his bike, and we've never seen Rivas get on his bike like that before. Rozicki was like Rozicki was bleeding from his nose and his mouth or whatever, but he kept on coming forward. It was
the best adjustment he could make because you get tired. It drains your body. Like I know when you're in a phone booth, you're not moving like that, but the intensity is there because you're getting hit all over: arms, stomach, chin, head, forehead, and you got to keep working or clinching or grabbing and keeping up. As soon as you set the little distance apart with the jab and some footwork, the other guy, he kind of loses his spirit because now you moving away from him and he gotta come get you. Right.
But the worst thing that could have happened after, and like I said, the fight was like it was flames. But the worst thing that could have happened was within a minute in the 12th round, the feed went out for ESPN Plus, and we were like, "What the fuck?" And it never came back. It did not come back.
ESPN owed me 3 minutes of a damn fight of the year fade right now.
Exactly. Like, you know what? Like, I need to see an adjustment. Like, y'all need to take something off my bill when you bill me.
Take Ali off the next card y'all plan on putting him on. I'll take that.
I was pissed, and then we had to rely on people who were actually at the arena on Twitter to tell us who won, and I was just like, and then apparently, during the time that we had no feed, that Rivas got a point taken away for an intentional low blow. So
it's like everything happened in the 12th round. You're watching the whole fight, and then it's like the 12th round come, you can't even see it, but That's when all the fuckery happens. You're like, hold on, what?
Yeah, so ESPN, man, or someone, whoever controlled the feed, like y'all fucked up. Like, I mean, yes, it was in Montreal or whatever, but damn, like you couldn't get a reliable feed, like not even a backup feed. Now, apparently, they said there was a Spanish feed, and I didn't even know there was a Spanish feed, and I was like, because I don't speak Spanish, so but it's just like I was like, how's this?
Deportes.
But how's it showing on the Spanish feed, but you couldn't get the American feed back up? Like, what kind of shit is that? Like,
ESPN just be trash for boxing. Like, they don't respect it. Like, even I ain't even see none of the interviews and none of that shit after the Stevenson fight because they had to put it on ESPN Plus or some other bullshit. And I'm like, I just saw the fight. And that was it. Like, I'm not, going different channels and links and this, that to look for a motherfucking interview. So
I mean, they put Nico Ali Walsh interview on the main card, but no, having
and that's what I'm saying. Oh my god, like y'all making people hate this kid, and it's like he's cool.
Yeah, y'all gonna make him. Y'all gotta make him unlikable.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not even his fault.
It's just how everybody's doing that with Campbell Hatton. It's not even their fault. And it's like people are just like, oh man, fuck that kid. Like it's like no, like but I see it. Like come on, like like keep boxing with some fucking respect. Like don't just fuck a football nigga. I don't care about seeing the results of some shit. Like you gonna have all night to play your goddamn football fucking results and statistics and shit. Can you just finish boxing completely before you run into some fucking football, please?
And then it's not ESPN has a hell of a boxing library. Like ESPN has been in the boxing, has aired boxing for probably like 40 something years. Like they're not new to this, but I don't know what it is these days about in terms of like.
It gotta be some motherfuckers who hate boxing who run that shit. Gotta be.
Yeah. It's like there was no reason for the feed to be down. Now I can see it down for maybe a few seconds or maybe a half minute max. But the fact that even now, like I can't even go on ESPN Plus and actually find the completed. It's recorded. I know it is. Like I still can't find.
Y'all fucking up.
Yeah.
The full fight and where they actually aired the decision. Nah, that shit ain't cool. Like nah, that's bullshit. So yeah, ESPN.
Even if y'all would have fucked up the round, at least let us hear the decision in the interviews. Y'all couldn't even do that. Like
right, and we had imagine us have to go on Twitter in 2021 just to I mean, this ain't 2000 where we had to go use real player and then we had to rely on something to actually try to find out results of the fights. Like no, 2021
was a lifesaver back in the day.
Yeah, it's like, and that's how it felt. I was like, damn, I have to go off this just to find results to a Bridgerweight title fight. Like, dude, that's how I couldn't help but chuckle to myself, but it was kind of disgusting in a way too. Like,
I don't know, it's just like the ESPN top rank. They need in my Larry Merchant voice, they got some splaining to do because they just was a bad look this weekend. Like the over the top promotion for damn Ali, the damn Bridgerweight connection. It's like, why the fuck would you want to sign with these niggas after watching this weekend?
Yeah, and the Bridgerweight fight, and it was damn near like a fight of the year candidate because it was that good a fight. Bridgerweight title nonsense aside. So I mean, Rivas.
And I almost didn't even watch that shit. So you and Roman, y'all killed that shit because I was literally talking about it to Roman on the phone, and he was like, "Damn," because I was watching the undercard, and the undercard was putting me to sleep, and I was like, "Man, fuck that," because he kept calling me like, "Yo, man, so did the main event start?" I was like, "Nah, man." I was dozing off, like I forgot about that shit. Like he's like, "Damn, man," so. And I was like, man, and I don't think the fight gonna be that good. He's like, yeah, I feel you. But the thing is, if we don't watch the fight, watch that shit be on World Star in the morning, and niggas is like, oh man, he was life and death, this, that. As soon as I hang up, this nigga Pat texts me like, yo, these niggas throwing at it. They balls to the wall with it. Like, I'm like, oh, word? Shit, all right. Then I turned it on, and then it's like, oh shit, he wasn't lying. And then I had to hit him up and be like, yeah, you called it. Like, we almost missed out on a World Star fade.
Yeah, no, and like I say, yeah,
I blame ESPN with that trash ass undercard. That shit was putting me to sleep. Like, stop with these fucking showcase bouts on these damn fights, man. Jeez, right. Like the whole week, I want to forget this whole weekend minus 2 fights. Right,
and it's like, and then like I said, thankfully, like I said, Rivas won the decision. Like he won at 115, 112 2 times, and I think 116, 111 on the other card. You know, and obviously, I mean, the scores were kind of. I mean, to me, I thought it was a lot closer. The 116, 111 should be a lot closer. I mean, 115, 112, I don't have a problem with. You know, I don't. You know, that's
115, 112 seems about right, unless you would have got like a 114, 113 or 12 or something.
Yeah, I mean, it could have easily been a 114, 113 too. It was like yeah. So I mean, it was a damn. And Rozicki probably put himself on the map with that performance because, like I said, you know, he's
the Otto Violin of this year because he had the unexpected, like, hold on, he put in some work today type of performance.
Yeah, and then Rivas too. Like, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know how far he's gonna go. I mean, it's not because, like I said, because there's no. I mean, because right now there's no president for Bridgerweight. Like, we don't even know who's gonna be participating in this shit or not. And
I know what rematch Brian Jennings in America.
Yeah. And then, but that reminds me. By the way, the reason why Rivas had never fought in America the way he has is of medical reasons. Because dude has had issues with his eyes and he's kind of failed eye exams in the past.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem. Why? Although I mean, dude is a talent, but I think that's part of the reason why he's only fought in America like twice. That's why I was surprised that he actually fought in upstate New York of all places, and he actually let so. When they said you could make it in New York, you could nah.
If you could fight in New York, then I don't see what's the problem. Shit.
Right. Yeah. So I guess it all depends too on you know, how they handle his eye issues in the past. I mean, he seemed like he seems fine to me. Like, I mean, he doesn't seem like, you know, he has, you know, issues like that. But you know, some commissions like are different. You know what I mean? So.
I hope it's nothing. I hope it don't get worse or any serious because, you know, he puts on good fights. So, you know, credit the dude and, you know, credit the Rozicki. You know, y'all put on the best Bridgerweight fight I've ever seen in my life. So.
That's facts.
Yeah, but you only seen one. I was like, damn it, they won in one, right? They won in one. That's good. Like, I could live with that. You know.
It's very, you know, I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, I'll still poo-poo the Bridgerweight shit, but at least as long as the fighters are faith friendly, I won't, you know, the fight itself is whatever. You know,
I'm sorry, I can't get jiggy with this Bridgerweight shit. Can't do it.
Yeah, no. But the fight was entertaining enough, so I could just say I'll allow it on some Top Boy shit.
No, let's put it this way though. But here's one thing I wanted to say, because either way, you know, they can. Oh, you know, they're too big for heavy. Oh, they're too heavy for cruiserweight. The fight, the weight difference in the fight was still 20 pounds.
Yeah, that's the irony of it. Like, yeah, it didn't amount to anything. Like,
I mean, truthfully, it might actually be more dangerous for any of these motherfuckers to actually compete for that belt.
The limit was like 225 or some shit?
It's 224 actually.
224, like, but then you got Wilder defending his belt at damn 212. You had Chris Bird defending his belt at what, 206?
You know, I mean, Roy won the heavyweight title weighing like 193. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's like, which one is it? Like, y'all make up your fucking mind. I mean,
yeah, you know, it's like,
if that's the case, I want y'all to give them y'all need to award Wilder with a belt for Bridgerweight just for the due fact that, you know, he was campaigning at that motherfucker for years.
Right.
And I need y'all to give Chris Bird a belt as well for that. And throw Roy Jones one too, fuck it.
Facts.
Like, I just want to see y'all mail out belts to these guys.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see where they go with this Bridgerweight. If they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, you know, it doesn't make sense for these cats to be on this way, because Rivas, for one, his conditioning failed him in this fight. It really did, for how he usually fights. Like, I mean, dude looked like he was gassed and drained. So it could, like, I mean, you know, this weight division, quote unquote. I mean, you might put some of the fighters in there at a disadvantage. You know, but we'll just have to wait and see how all this shit plays out.
If that's the case, you may as well be at heavyweight where there's more money for that disadvantage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give somebody a 30-pound advantage, and, you know, you gonna put me in a bullshit division that no one heard of, that y'all got on training wheels. Stop.
Yeah, and because Rivas at least has a reputation of being at least a good heavyweight. But the fact that an unknown fighter like that, who's most of their career cruiser, gave him that much trouble over 12 rounds, you might want to be careful about fighting for that shit.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It was a good scrap. So,
we do recommend it. We do recommend you actually watching it if the full version of it actually does.
Although finding the 12th round, I'd be like looking for a fucking Dragon Ball.